He stood up for them, and then they stripped him of everything because he helped the end boys.
Tonight on Wave 31 News at 10, an exclusive interview with a Decatur woman who's working to help finish a civil rights museum highlighting the stories of the Scottsboro Boys. Dorothy Gordon explains why the museum is worth her fighting in the woke culture war.
And I was surprised that a lot of people didn't know about the Scottsboro Boys.
Dorothy Gordon, one of the planners for the up-and-coming Civil Rights Museum on the Scottsboro Boys story, is working and walking out her vision to see it to full fruition.
We're bringing this to light so everybody can see, not only just the black people, white people, everybody.
A portion of it right now, still just an empty lot. Gordon says she's aware some may not want them to ever complete the multi-million-dollar project.
Saying to folks who might say that this project isn't necessary.
Those that are ignorant.
The 82-year-old says this museum in Decatur will teach others important history about issues on race. A concept of it is at the center of the woke culture war. The museum is being built in phases, including
the boarding house where Ruby Bates, one of the accusers, stayed during the trials here in Decatur in 1933 through 1937.
Those trials were for 9 black boys wrongfully accused of raping 2 white women. It's one of many difficult stories Gordon says she's shared with her grandkids.
I make sure that they know their history and where they came from. And I even showed them the pictures, you know, and it was like, oh my God, Grandma, you mean that actually happened to black people? Yes, that actually happened to black people. But swinging from a tree and setting them on fire, I said, yes, that happened. That happened. And this is why I feel like this is so important.
Important, she says, to everyone.
And it's going to be important to some of the whites as well, because they can imagine that their grandparent, or whatever did this. You know, oh yeah, they did this.
She says conversations with white people in the community about the building project and the Scottsboro Boys usually unfolds like this.
Oh, I'm so sorry that happened. Why are you sorry? We didn't know. Well, don't be sorry because you didn't do it. You don't even know anything about it. But I accept your apology.
Although it's too late, she says the Scottsboro Boys are the ones who really deserve an apology.
And then I thought about the 2 old white ladies that accused, you know, and even on their deathbed, they didn't say, I'm sorry.
Victoria Price died in 1982 at age 77. And Ruby Bates at age 63 in 1967. Bates eventually admitted to the lie. Price did not. The late Judge James Horton played a key role in the trials. Movers transported his home through Greenbrier and across the Tennessee River Bridge to its new location on Church Street in Decatur, to include it in the museum. Judge Horton made a bold and brave decision to reject the jury's guilty verdict of Hayward Patterson, one of the 9 Scottsboro Boys, and to set aside the other cases because evidence pointed to innocence.
I admire him. And especially back in 30s, stuff like that, you know. And he knew they didn't do that, so he stood up for them, and then they stripped him of everything because he helped the end boys, you know.
Gordon says although some may think what they're doing here in one of the oldest communities in Decatur is wrong,
I'm going to always stand up for what's right.
Because
we're just bringing history to life.
Wednesday on Wave 31 News at 10, we continue our series while taking you inside this one-of-a-kind museum.